Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to Dreamhack TV, live from Dreamhack Winter 2013, as we have game number 2 going to be coming at you. Denali eSports taking on Shit Happens here. The winner moving on to the semifinals to play Too Much Sugar. You're in this best out of 3. Looking forward to it, of course, Denali eSports. Once they got the ball rolling there in game number 1, they proved to be the stronger team. But Shit Happens, they've already proved today that they can beat some quality teams. So they're looking to come back. They're looking to come back and force. Do you think it's possible, B?
I absolutely think it's possible, Breaky. Do I think it's likely? Yeah. I wouldn't put money on it.
Fair enough.
But it's certainly possible.
Yeah.
And, I mean, Moon was just on here talking and saying that he thinks that if he was going to put money on it, he'd put it on Denial, but he's hoping for a Game 3. He's hoping for a BYOC victory.
That would be something. I mean, that would be something that the BYOC team wants to. I mean, the fact that they've gotten this far really is an accomplishment in itself. But
yeah,
that they're already guaranteed at least $3,000 for a team that, again, came in the first place, that they were just here to have fun and see what they can make happen. So, but no doubt, being the competitors that they are, I'm sure they still want to win this. Not only this game here, but the series as a whole. So
it's kind of funny. I mean, we were talking, Fantasy and I were talking in preparation for DreamHack this time around about really the last time that a BYOC team did really well. And I think we decided it was 2011 winter. Yaga, the team that would become its Gosu, came out of the BYOC, and they were able to make it into the top 4.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah.
I do remember that. Remember that. That was a little bit ago, but yeah,
that was
Team
a few
Yaga.
years ago.
It was Jaga, I believe it was.
That's it.
I do remember that.
That's it. But Breaky, we are actually getting into this drafting phase, so let's go ahead and head on in there so we can get this game 2 started off.
Let's do it. Let's do it. All right, here we are, Denali eSports versus Shit Happens. Denali eSports obviously finished off with a Tempest pick. Wow. Yeah. Last match, maybe of the day. Last series of the day. How about that? Anyways, Sandray, Scout, Tempest coming out for Denali eSports. You see Engineer, Pestilence, and Slither coming out for Shit Happens. So they managed to Slither pick up, but yeah, Sandray coming out here for Denali eSports. They don't pick up Empath initially. Kind of wondering if we're going to see that Empath pick up obviously after now, or is it going to be banned here instead? So there's... I was on the street. Go ahead, sorry. There's bugs flying around.
Are we going to chase him down, Breaky? I'm in.
I kind of wanted to get off this table.
Bugs?
No, we can stay.
All right. No. We're back. There's already enough bugs in this game with Pestilence. He's, of course, over there on that side.
That's true.
No other bugs in the game, though, because S2 coding is really good. And, of course, like you said, Empath could be coming out here in the second set of bans, or it could be coming out in the picks. We'll have to see.
There you go. We already see. Empath being banned there by Shit Happens. The Ophelia, the first ban, of course. But yeah, Empath coming out right there. So getting that out of the way right away right there. Rally is going to be the follow-up ban from Denali eSports. But yeah, so far looking at these lineups, again, Denali eSports, they don't have their support options just yet, obviously. They got the Samurai, the Scout, the Tempest. Tempest for that Jungle Scout, the Suicide Samurai, very likely in that short lane. As far as what we're going to see that Shit Happens, so this is yet another time we get to see the Slither coming out here. For the Hellborn team, or for Shit Happens, that is. We talked about, their first match, I think it was against TMSR, where they did that Plague Gliders to the lane. It was kind of awkward, running him in that short lane, though. That's what they prefer to do. So now knowing that, if you're Denali eSports, it's going to be interesting to see what they do against them now. Expecting maybe that Slither short support, or short farming.
Yeah. Farming in that short lane, the number 1 up there. And Kurt Svensson definitely loves playing it. So they could choose to go with something like an aggressive tri-lane. Aggressive pseudo tri-lane is kind of out of the question right now with the Tempest, as is really the aggressive tri-lane. It's not likely going to happen. And with the Sandwraith, not really a whole lot of options to actually send him into that lane either. Most likely just going to be that Scout, and Slither versus Scout is a matchup that's probably pretty in favor of the Slither. He's ranked up there with Corrupted Disciple as heroes that just do not lose their lanes when they're put into a short lane 1v1 scenario. So if you're going to throw the Scout up there, well, you're definitely going to have a pretty interesting time for Mickey. But he's a very skilled player. He's got those fast reflexes. Maybe he can dodge those Poison Burst Matrix style and make it out of the lane unscathed.
That's true, though. Yeah, the Slither pick is definitely proven to be actually a pretty powerful pickup there before Shit Happens with that final pick. Speaking of pickups, obviously Denali eSports now they're thinking about their next pick going to be coming out. Again, very important right here. Do they go the support option, or do they instead maybe go for that more middle style hero? And, you know, usually with the Samwraith, they like to babysit it. So something like a solo mid could make sense right here. You know, eyeing off the bat, it's maybe, I know, Probusk loves to play that Tundra, so I could definitely see a Tundra coming out here as a possibility.
Sure.
For Denali eSports on top of their support pickup. So we'll see what it comes down to, though. They're going to go pretty much all the way to in the extra time right here. There's Torturer coming out. So they go the support option first. Again, I'm definitely eyeing that Tundra as very likely. Could be a final pick here, but
the support option. There you go. Nice job, Breaky. Nice job getting it in there. And I mean, Tundra for Probusk is definitely a high tier one. And I mean, I remember talking about Denial yesterday and IG, talking with Swindlemons and I think one of the other captains about why that match didn't go so well. And they said IG let them have all of their number one heroes, and talking about which heroes are really just kind of the favorites here for Denial, that a lot of them are very, very niche. And when you're talking about Flensmeister, what do you think of? Sandwraith. When you're talking about your guy on Probusk, what are you talking about? Maybe something like that Tundra or that Magnus, something like that. So already they could be set up for a couple of their primary picks right here. They did make sure to get rid of the Parasite as well as the Empath. So definitely getting rid of a couple of the big ones there. But you always got to make sure to remove teams from their comfort zone as much as possible. And already with an Flensmeister going to be on that Sandwraith, you definitely need to make sure to try to address something else, maybe like that Tundra. But we'll see. That one's going to be maybe they'll go for it, maybe not. Right now it's going to be Plague Riders. So once again, shit happens, going to be going back to basics.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little scary, though, because, again, that didn't work out too well against Too Much Sugar. So now, granted, I don't think it's going to be a Slither Plague Rider lane by any means. Again, this game is shaping up. Like you said, the idea of an aggressive lane coming out here from TNL is very unlikely. Maybe not anymore. Drunken Master coming out right there from Denali eSports with their final pick, and I could definitely see them doing actually a little bit of aggressive play perhaps with that. So I don't know, it's going to be tough. It's going to be an interesting initial laning phase because that's where they feel like they went wrong in that matchup. What it came down to, that's what it was. So they were matched up against the Flux Engie in the bottom. They were expecting to match up against the Wretched Axe. So here, if they do the Slither Plague Rider long lane, they're expecting to lane against the solo Sandwraith. Maybe with the Torture support at the most, but we'll see if Denali eSports kind of calls that. Will they maybe send a Drunken Torturer bottom instead to kind of answer that from shit happens? So some fun line games may come out here with that. But speaking of Mickey, speaking of what you're talking about, I was actually there too. It's what I was talking about, how you can kind of call their picks. Drunken Master is a favorite of Mickey. Yep. He's been doing that a lot recently. So absolutely, and it's going to be kind of interesting now to see where they actually go with who's going to play what, because Flens definitely plays a fantastic Sandwraith and Scout. Probusk, I don't really see him playing either of these two heroes too often, but it looks like Probusk is going to pick up the Scout for now, and I kind of think this is going to be like a solo mid Scout. Solo mid Scout with a Sandwraith Torture there in the bottom lane, and then a Drunken Master Suicide going to try to contest maybe with that Soul Stealer there, which was the final pick for Denial. So going maybe a little bit more greedy with that kind of a pick. But Breaky, we are getting started here. We are. Let's jump into game number 2 here. Denial eSports taking on Shit Happens. Again, Denial eSports obviously up 1-0 here in this best of 3. Trying to sweep the series, trying to move on to face Too Much Sugar in the following semifinals, which of course will be tomorrow. So this is our final series here of the day. Will it end here, or will we have one more game? So that Souls to their final pick, that pretty much secures the idea that this is going to be very likely more of a long lane Slither. Again, kind of like they ran against Too Much Sugar, speaking of that. So, like I said, it keeps going back to the ideas. It didn't work out well there. It was kind of funky in the first place. But also now for Denali eSports, how are you going to address this? I'm sure they watched that match earlier. They are already sending Drunken Torturer top, however. So it is actually shaped. Now they're going to send Scout bottom, and then they got Sandwraith. He's going to be in the middle initially. So with Scout going bottom at least, it's not going to be as bad for Denali eSports. Because again, I'm sure if shit happens, they would prefer to have ultimately Sandwraith down there in that bottom lane. So it's going to be an interesting landing phase, though. This is really mind-gamey, Breaky. Yeah. Like, it's just so hard to predict
I mean, 3 of these heroes, they could go to anywhere that they wanted here for Denial. And it's going to be extremely hard for the guys at Shit Happens to actually respond to this one and respond appropriately. But, man, I'm just kind of thinking back to what you were saying at the beginning, right as we transitioned over. They win this, they get to go on to face TMSR. What a reward.
Yeah, right.
You win your quarterfinal match. It's hard fought. Have fun facing TMSR, but I guess that's what happens when you get into the later stages of this tournament. You want to be the champions here at Dreamhack. You're going to have to really crack some eggs to make that omelet, and those eggs might be TMSR standing in your way right now, but it is going to be Drunken Master and Torture actually up here in the top lane with a solo Sandwraith middle. This is so strange for Denial.
Soulstealer's in trouble already. Drunken Master and Torture doing a lot of damage. Soulstealer, what is going on? He's stutter step. Okay, he was trying to avoid the chain reactions. I guess that makes sense. But in the end, it just wasn't going to happen. Mickey gets credit for the bloodlust kill right there. Not how you want to start. Not how you want to start for Shit Happens. Drunken Master already, and he gets to pull the lane right there. On top of that, it's getting loud all of a sudden.
Wow.
The crowd goes wild.
The crowd goes wild for that bloodlust kill here, Breaky, but no, I don't think so. Right now, at least, Drunken Master and Torture are going to be able to get lane control up here in addition to that bloodlust kill. So things definitely looking up for the Denial squad right away. Now, I'm really interested once again, though, on this Sandwraith in the solo middle lane. You talk about suicide heroes in that middle lane, and maybe you talk about a Rally or a Bubbles, even a Wretched Hag, but Sandwraith's certainly not up there. He does end up being a relatively slippery hero once he gets that Desert Curse off, but at least right now, I don't know. He's going to be able to get some of it. And you know who? I think they're going crazy. Is Darude playing?
I'm sitting... I think it might be. I was sitting here taking my headphone off a slightly, you know, kind of just honestly trying to get a hear of it to be sure. But I think that might, you know, for those that are either at the event or maybe heard about it, Darude's actually going to be here to play Sandstorm and whatnot.
One song and one song only.
Yeah, one song the whole time for 12 hours straight. No. Anyways, we're getting distracted. This shouldn't be happening. Tempest is in trouble. Tempest is in a lot of trouble. Here comes Samurai trying to assist. Trying to maybe scare them off. It's not going to happen, though. Tempest will fall when it's all said and done. But, however, the Legion team, they're looking to respond. Lunge in right there. The Keg stunning a couple with the Impale. It doesn't matter, though. Plague Better is going to ultimately fall, and it will be a 1-for-1 exchange. So, Pestilence and an Engineer, they're assisting from the mid right there to take out Tempest in the jungle, at least. But, obviously, Drunken Master and Torture doing some rotation. Soulstealer is able to pick up some decent farm while they're away. But now they are back, and he needs to be careful once again. So, again, the decisions here from our Hellborn team, they got Plague Cutter up on the top side. He's not your more ideal support, especially for short lane. And now Engineer's even up here, so they really are making sure to try to get Soulstealer any kind of farm at the top lane, but they're investing a lot of resources to do so.
Yeah, they certainly are, and they're going to be sacrificing the farm, perhaps on the Pestilence into Slither as a result, because I expect that Denial will probably rotate one of the players here, probably Torture, going to be making his way out of this lane once he realizes there are, in fact, 3 players up here. At that point, it just becomes a little bit too dangerous for Torture to be here. Drunken Master with his boots and his escape mechanism, he'll have no problem just hanging out up here, but Torture should probably go somewhere else, either into that middle or the bottom lane, to try to assist and buy some more farm for those, as well as deny the farm from somebody else here. And, well, looks like Pestilence is doing pretty well for himself, though. Middle lane, he's currently at 300 gold per minute, although Engineer is going to take some pressure here in the top lane. Nice use of the Keg, though, and Adro is able to get away, showing why he's been part of a team that's in the top 6 of Diamond.
Yeah, he's able to make the escape right there, as you said, with the Keg stun. So the pressure, I mean, again, it's a very funky tri-lane. Soulstealer, Plague Rider, Engineer going up here, but it doesn't really have the most synergy at all. But again, they really are investing quite a bit into trying to get that Soulstealer in the farm. But as you said, Sandwraith now opens up for him, and then of course at the bottom lane, Scouts actually have been able to free up a little bit. Maybe, I mean, he's 12-1 currently against an 18-8 Slither, so Slither is still having actually the better time. But Slither's getting back right now because here comes Tempest, trying to set up the gank. He has the stuns. Nice hero blocking on top of that. Will it actually be enough for the kill? Tempest does not have an ultimate. The chase is not going to be successful, so he does get away. But that was pretty damn close right there in the meantime. By the way, it just happened, but once again, if you want to vote for your favorite team, either exclamation point CHIT for Shit Happens or Denial But, and also, if you do vote, you actually are eligible now. We got some fun prizes for a Cryo Magmus avatar code that we're going to be giving away to a random person that votes via Twitter by typing that in chat speed. But top lane, Engineer's in trouble. One more auto attack. No, he's stutter step with a stagger. Gets the job done.
And Drunken Master going to bring that one home. Torture able to S2 his way over the cliff there as well and able to get away from the minions that might have otherwise put a serious hurting and maybe even a kill right there. But yeah, definitely to the guys at home, if you haven't made it out here to Dreamhack, make sure you're voting in those polls. Let us know who you think is going to win. And Crown Magmus, I mean, Dreamhack exclusive avatar here, and definitely a very cool one. So make sure to try to get your hands on that by voting, telling us who you think's going to be coming home or who your favorite team is, whatever you want, man. Just vote, get it out over there on Twitter, and let us know. We always want to get you involved at home. But we'll see. Maybe we'll even have some results here again. But of course, once you see again on your screen, got Denial or ZHIT. That'll get you the links over onto Twitter, and you can let us know who you think. Currently, it looks like Denial at 85%. So they're well in the lead right now, at least in the Homeboy fan polls.
Yeah, again, not too surprising, as we said, going into the matchup. So Denial eSports definitely the heavy favorite and a likable team here in a lot of fans' eyes. Top lane, though, Pestilence, he's actually able to avoid the chain reactions. And now he's going for a kill on a Samurai. The swarm is up. The auto attacks one more. No, it's not enough for the kill. There's the final one, though. He does get it, but it might come at a cost. In fact, it absolutely will. Mikey Man goes down. And, you know, you think back to that final auto attack, he really stretched for it to make sure he got the kill. But it made him overextend a little bit too much in the end. So he does take out Samurai, but now Mickey here on Drunken Master, 360 gold per minute, actually. Already coming in, and like I said, it's fun watching Mickey on Drunken Master when he plays it, because he just loves to go crazy. Like I said earlier, you know, they just unleash him, and he goes all over the place. He has a Ghost Marches earlier, he will get the Ghost Marches early on, and that's where he moves to that. Now rambling on, and Sandwraith assists for a kill and a Slither right there in the meantime.
Yeah, really nice use out of that ultimate. TMSR and Denial are some of the best teams in actually using Sandwraith effectively. Once he hits level 6, make sure to hit that Mirage pretty dang frequently and try to pick up as many kills as you can, because after that, TP back into your primary lane and get your farm on once again. It really does just make this hero so very viable. And, well, speaking of that Sandwraith, he takes some stuns there in the middle lane, but he'll end up being just fine. And 7 minutes in here, Breaky, the only map vision right now is all in this top lane. So you can tell both teams really focused up here as we have Torture gonna go ahead and get a counter ward off. Yeah. And it looks like really the map vision from the Hellborn team is extremely limited, just down to one ward of sight here from Adro. Well, I mean, the Legion team don't really have a whole lot more as those initial wards are expiring, although they drop one really aggressively here in the middle lane now. Wow, that's a nice ward from support.
I was even going to be worried that it might have even been too close to the tower right there, but it definitely isn't. Obviously, it is able to get some good vision there in the flank spot of this Pestilence. So it's going to be interesting to see what use comes to that bottom lane scout. He does get hit by the Poison Burst. He has a Poison Spray on him. He should be able to live through this at least. And unless the Poison Burst stays on. No, okay, he's going to get denied. Wow. I thought for sure he's going to live, but I guess I just underestimated, man, the power of the dot damage coming out from Slither. So Scout does fall right there. Good use of the Poison Burst, even though he got the Vanish off. Wasn't able to see him. Top it in the meantime. Drunken Master gets caught. Despite the Unbreakable coming up, he will fall. Engineer goes down to counter, but now Torture's in trouble. Chasing from Pestilence. He has an Impels down. He puts the Swarm out, but he's just on a range. Oh, Torture turned around right there. The chain reactions. He does get the stun, but he also took a stun himself. He's still running, though. The bottle charges are barely enough. And he will ultimately survive right there. He happened to have the bottle on him from earlier, so that at least is a saving grace right there.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there was any chance that he was going to be dying. He had the mana battery up at 8 charges as well, so he was just trying to bait in and maybe try to set up a kill. And Sandwraith is going to use the ultimate once again, and Pestilence, couple auto attacks away, make it a marksman shot away as Pestilence is going to fall. Scout showing his presence off, and Denial, I mean, they have a very sizable resource advantage. Just 9 minutes in here. Elemental Void in the bottom lane. They're going to go ahead and bring down Slither. Wow. And there you go. Elemental Replicates doing their job, Breaky. Back up atop, more action, though, as Plague Rider falls. And that's 3 lane, 3 kills here for the Denial guys.
It's like Denial just flipped on a switch all of a sudden. It's like, all right, time to get kills. 3 kills, as you said, very quickly, one after the other. And in fact, it might be a 4th kill. Engineer's in trouble. Look at that dodge right there from Sandray. He's able to avoid it. The Deserter doing so much. Scout's going to finish him off. A 4th kill coming out. Pestilence is here, but it cannot get close enough. Top lane.
Make it 5. Why not?
Make it 5. Denial is just all of a sudden on fire as they get 5 kills in a row within basically a minute span right there. And before you know it, the lead just grows huge. 4,500 gold lead, 6,200 experience lead. And we're only 10 minutes into this game. You know something else I'm noticing too, though? Soulster buys a life tube. He bought a life tube, and that leads me to believe he's going to be eventually going for a null stone. Null stone, not an item we see too often anymore now on the competitive scene. I mean, it definitely has uses, but it goes back to just being, is that ultimately an effective choice? In the end, I don't know, but Master of Arms or Drunken Master getting caught, excuse me.
Yeah, he's going to be trying to run away here. Ghost Marches as well as the Stagger is going to be able to get away for now, but Pestilence applying the chase here with a level 3 flight. The Impalement and an auto attack are going to be enough. So Denial losing one right there, ending their streak, but they make sure to pick up a tower at least in the bottom lane. So always managing to take those trades, and a double damage Scout going to quickly make quick work of the creeps. Might even start working on a tier 2 here.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to push it. No reason not to. Scout and Tempest are here. You see the TP situation coming out. They do, majority of the heroes have TPs at least. In fact, Pestilence is already heading down, and it will be enough to ultimately scare off Scout and Tempest. But, so yeah, I'm looking back at this again. The life 2 pickup on Soulstone, which leads me to believe, like I said, the Nullstone coming out. You do look across. I mean, there's a lot of single target abilities here on the Legion side, including Samrai's ultimate, of course, which will be nullified. But I think this is your case of it's at the point of there's just so many that isn't really that worth it in the end to go for a nullstone for that nullifying effect. Slither in the meantime in the middle end. That great opening. That marksman shot. Boom goes the dynamite right there. Slither falls, and they're going to retreat now. But the swarm coming out on the Scout actually. Will he be able to get away? The flight is up from Pestilence, but the vanish from Scout. Look at him trying to take the angles right here. He will be fine when it's all said and done. So another snipe kill coming out for Probusk right there.
There you go. And Pestilence actually did have the movement speed advantage there, but just got juked out. Probusk doing it big. And, well, it looks like they will get the tower up top. No problem. So going to be adding on to that already large resource advantage. And there's the full sustainer here.
Yeah.
And so it's going to be a Nullstone Soul Stealer. I don't know that I've seen this in probably a couple of years. Not since we really used to see him all the time as Engineer taking a ton of damage here. There's the Sandwraith ultimate going off breaking. And here comes Sandwraith. Gonna go and get in there, but the Plague ultimate is gonna go out. No bounces though. Sandwraith able to get away. Plague Rider not gonna be so lucky. And here comes Slither taking a lot of damage as well. There's the lunge, but they'll turn it around. Drunken Master gonna be the one that goes down.
Yeah, he dove a little bit too far right there. Mickey doesn't care. The marksman shot, not enough for the kill. As Pestilence will survive, or maybe it will be. Scout, he still wants it. Yeah, just too much regen, though. It's not going to happen, so he will fall back. You do see Samurai trying to avoid death right here. He's going back in, though. Poison Burst goes off. Again, it does not hit, actually, though, so it doesn't matter about not being lethal. But now Slither, he's in trouble. Once again, Tempest charging in. He gets the Sun's top. They are going to be able to pick up the kill. Horde's coming in. Will they get any counter kills? No, they will not. A lot of resources, a lot of TPs coming out from Shit Happens. And unfortunately, they cannot make anything happen with it in the end. So, yeah, as you're referring to with that Nullstone, you know, again, it has been a while. It feels like it, but again, it's also the case that, so yeah, not going the Porta Key, okay, fine. Not going the early Shrunken Head, not going the Firebrand even. If you're going to go Nullstone, though, for the farming tool, I mean, why not just get a Life Brand at this point? It's so much cheaper. It gets the job done in the end, and then you can eventually turn that into a Searing Light even, and then eventually a full Dawnbringer, which is a solid item. So I just don't see a Nullstone being the ideal choice here.
Yeah, it's certainly going to be something different here from Kurt Svensson, and at least so far probably not going to be the best choice because his fighting capabilities are pretty severely limited as a result of that choice. And now Scout going to be stalking around up in the top lane, just going to be trying to be annoying as usual. I don't think he'll go for any kills, at least until he gets some backup. That backup might be in the way of a Mirage ultimate, which is up here in about 12 seconds though, Breaky, and that very well could set up a pretty big kill, as that Sustainer not really going to do a lot for the survivability of Soul Stealer in the very quick pick situation.
Yeah, definitely doesn't want to risk it. I mean, they've been playing pretty risky this whole game, and obviously it's been working out here for Denali eSports, but right there, Scott's just feeling comfortable, falling back. not having to go too far, but he is in the middle lane after he falls back. Oh no, he uses the vanish right here. He's right on top of them. He's given his team all the information needed in terms of going for a kill right here perhaps, but obviously he's gonna wait for his team in the end, as there's no way he's going to pick up the kill himself, but they might find something over here. Plague if he keeps going. Samurai ultimate comes out. Is he going to port it? Where is he going is the question. Looks like he's going top, actually. And the Elemental Void to cancel the port out from Socialmedia, and he will eventually fall. And now Pestilence in some trouble. He's just going to fly into the woods, go for the port out. Drunken Master, no, cannot get there in time, so.
Tree respawn, number 1.
Yeah, with the block right there. So Socialmedia does die, however. Obviously, the Elemental Void was used right there to do so, but still, slowing down Socialmedia is obviously very useful for Denali eSports right now. So Socialmedia 425 gold per minute, Samurai 385 GPM, and it's even a pretty nice curve from there. I mean, your lowest is a 236 GPM Torturer. So Denali's getting more and more control of this game as we speak.
Definitely. I mean, if you're going to get a kill, you want to get that kill on the Soul Stealer, but Denial's not discriminating right now. They'll take any kills they can get, and they're going to find one right here on Slither as the lunge comes back into the chain reaction stun, and the auto attacks from Torture and Tempest are enough. Zlapt is a serial killer right here, and I mean, the overall hero kill score 17-5 right now, and in fact, I believe even one of those was a deny. Maybe not.
I don't know.
I thought one of them was a deny.
Well, yeah,
it doesn't add up
denied,
to the.
Yes, I'm sorry.
I guess it doesn't add up to the total up top. So learn something new here every day, Breaky. But yeah, Denial gonna continue just moving on, and just they're definitely looking good right now, and they have a pretty large resource advantage, and they're just gonna keep on holding on to it as long as possible.
Yeah, Portal Key just picked up by Pestilence right there, so that is a tool, obviously, that our Hellborn side is hopefully going to be able to make something to work with. Scout, in the meantime, continuing to be that nuisance. If anything, maybe find a courier right here that he can snipe out, but he's just, well, as his name, living up to his name, really. Scouting things out, getting the vision for the team, and making plays that way. Drunken Master, in the meantime, Mighty Blade picked up. He is going to be going for a Shrunken Head, so we'll see what turns, or when that's going to be coming about. Sandwraith, the Firebrand finished on him with the Energizer Steam Boots, and already another 700 gold saved up on top of that. So Denali eSports, you see the map control right now. You see where shit happens is. I mean, they are playing very defensive. In fact, the top lane, okay, that's just an illusion right there, but he gets Soulstone to port to the bottom, actually. Who's going to try to farm down there. So he is very close to the Blessed Orb. In fact, he has that now. And again, that Nullstone is going to be around the corner. They catch Scout, though. Scout's in trouble. Silence comes out. Will it be enough? Maybe a Gore proc. Is it going to come out? Disarm going to be there. It's the Impale. The stun from Tempest, but just not enough. And Scout does eventually fall. So Probusk, his legendary streak is stopped.
Oh, no.
As a result, 378 bonus goes for Adro, actually. Who got credit for the go right there. So they're going to clean up the engines in the meantime as well. So again, Denali eSports, they do need to be a little careful not to just be, like I said earlier, they've been playing very aggressive throughout this whole game, and a little risky even, and it's been working out so far, but you don't want to obviously overdo it and overthrow it by any means. Aggression
always going to be very useful, but you got to make sure to be aggressive when you know you can be. When you start diving into bases and wells and whatnot, that's when it starts to get scary. But in any case, they're going to be content and going to be bringing home a lot of map vision right now. They've got wards all over the place right now, Breaky, and definitely looking in pretty good shape to continue holding on to this game. But once again, guys, make sure to be getting your poll votes in. Definitely if you want to get your hands on that Crown Magnus avatar. Here it comes right now, Breaky. I think Denial's probably still ahead.
Well, with that said, too, here comes the gank attempt at the top lane. Soul Stealer has no idea. Soul Stealer has no idea up here. Samurai, he's going to ulti. They find Pestilence behind him. They're going to go for Pestilence first, and now they're going to go for Soul Stealer. Will the stun happen in time? No, they did not have anything to follow it up, but they got the Pestilence go as he was trying to run in to maybe help the Soul Stealer, and now they're going to push out this top lane. So, yeah, that was setting up for a while. The invis rune on Drunken Master, of course, helped him sneak up there. That Shrunken Head is just around the corner now. No stone finished on Soul Stealer, so we'll see, obviously, what he's going to be able to make do with it. But again, that's not even an item that's like, okay, I'm ready to team fight now. I mean, that's just I kind of just have to farm more with this item. And this is a game where they've been continuing to fall further and further behind. And you're going up against the likes of a Sandwraith, even a Drunken, I mean, so there is a lot of carry potential here on the Legion side on top of it. Hell, he put the Scout even on top of that, of course. So the strategy, again, especially with the items, I'm still just looking at it, a little bit discouraged by. But Slither, he hasn't been able to have the best start either. And that is also another big factor in this game right now.
Yeah, it certainly is. And I mean, when you're talking about the Scout, I want to talk about the lockdown potential here on the Legion team. Between the lunge, which is a couple seconds lockdown if you're not going to activate that real quick, Glacial Blast and Tempest Ultimate here from Mr. Zlapt. And then, of course, things like the Disarm coming in from Scout. The hard ability to make sure that those right-click auto attacks aren't doing anything from Soul Stealer. Even with that Nullstone, he's going to have a lot of sources from which he's going to be locked down. So going to be really interesting to see where he goes from here, what his next items are going to be. But the Hellborn team have done a nice job now of actually reclaiming some of the map control, covering their own ancients as well as down through the middle of the river now, whereas the Legion team, their vision is starting to be a little bit restricted. They've just got one ward in the enemy team's jungle here, so not really going to be able to pick up too many kills in the near future. Expect to see them to sit back and farm their own side of the jungle, at least until they can get another ward or two up on the opposite side of the map.
Yeah, trying to get that control coming out, but Soul Stealer, 400 gold per minute right here. He does have another 1,000 gold saved up, so again, he is farming very well. There is no doubt in that when it comes down to it, and he is going to get up another creep wave pretty quickly right there, and they may even try to push the middle tower. Speaking of that too, there's still there's no towers in general killed yet by the Hellborn team, so that's another factor that definitely doesn't help in terms of them being behind here in this game. They have not been able to push a single tower. I'm looking at the lives right now, the towers. I mean, it is fairly low really all across the board of those initial towers at least, so hopefully in the near future they could maybe pick something up. Sandwraith and Drunken Master, they're getting greedy though once again. You do see the Hellborn team collapsing, so they need to be careful not to actually initiate with this, which they're not going to do. Instead, they're just going to clean up the resources, take out a double stack camp right here as a team. And obviously, Drunken Master right now, he does have that Shrunken Head. In fact, now he's working towards that Soul's Bulwark to follow that up. Of course, Sandwraith also where he's going to go with the Firebrand. We'll see if it's that Geometer's Bane or something else. Again, with the likes of hero like Slither and Pestilence even, having that Geometer's Bane. Of course, a very, very good ability to be able to dispel those debuffs with when it comes down to it. And then even a Shrunken Head in the works for Scout. So I don't think Denal eSports is in necessarily a huge rush right here. So despite Soul Stealer's decent farm, they don't need to push the issue by any means. They just got the map control, just keep farming themselves.
Yeah, they've got their own Tricore setup over here in like a really, really strong late game Tricore setup. So they're not feeling in any kind of a rush whatsoever. Find their items, then they can take those fights. And especially, like I said, they need to get the map control back up before they try to take any picks or any fights. And right now they've got good map control with their towers, but need more wards. They in fact retain all three of their towers as, well, Mirage going to be going off right here, and Sandwraith is going to find both Pestilence and Engineer. Going to get stunned down. Marksman shot going to connect onto Pestilence. Beautiful energy field going to be going out from Engineer. Adro definitely just saved Mikey Man's life.
Yeah, Scout was ready to finish him off. He thought the Marksman shot was going to be enough, and I thought it was too. Just not enough. He went in there for the kill. But energy field, as you said, placed down, so that was definitely a case of it. Although it didn't actually do anything in terms of stopping it or in terms of doing damage or whatnot, it did prevent Scout from helping to finish off Pestilence. So good support coming out right there. But that goes to show you once again the aggressive potential that Denali eSports has here in this game. Obviously, you do hear apparently there is a support. Yeah, he's going to be crashing right there. So just a quick computer issue. So in the meantime, I'm going to get that figured out and move on from there. But again, the winner of this match here moves on to play Too Much Sugar in the following round. And obviously, again, a lot of people favoring Denali eSports, and they are setting up to be that team. So I'll tell you, I still can't get over, though, Lions versus Stay Green being our semifinal matchup. Again, if we said predict the grand final matchup going into the Dreamhack, I would have thought maybe 90% of people would have maybe thought Lions would stay green. But
yeah.
That's not the case. They're facing in the semifinals, obviously. So
it all ends up coming down to that one match one more time against TMSR.
The first match.
The very first match, and you can't come into a LAN and be like, oh, I can afford to drop a map. Nope.
Yeah.
That's simply not going to happen in a best-of-1 situation right here. So TMSR set themselves up for victory and a clear shot into the semifinals, whereas Lions is now going to have to face some extremely tough competition if they want to make it into the grand finals.
Yeah.
But that's a hell of a way to start off our day 3. Really, all of our matches here on day 3, Breaky, they're going to be pretty damn phenomenal.
Oh, no doubt. I mean, the third day, that being the final day, obviously, as it usually works out, I mean, it's going to be a great day. It's the matchups, both the semifinals and then, of course, eventually the grand finals. And speaking of that, while we do have a little bit of break here, kind of break that down, really, and how that's going to look tomorrow. So, obviously, the grand finals, that is going to be later on in the day. In fact, we do have a full schedule, or I have the schedule for you guys. It's 10 a.m., so 10 a.m. Central European time. That's 4 a.m. Eastern. 10 a.m. Central European time is going to be the first semifinals. I believe that one is going to be Too Much Sugar versus the winner of this. And then to follow that, it's actually scheduled for 12 a.m., or 12 p.m., I should say. Noon even for Eastern, or wow, Central European time. That is 6 a.m. Eastern. That's State Green versus Lion eSports Club. And then the grand finals, the first game will be at 4 p.m. Central European time, 10 a.m. Eastern. And then, of course, the second and third map, then are going to be a little bit of a break in between that, just like we've done in previous events. After the first game, we get things moved over to the Dreamhack Arena, and then we finish off the series over there. So there will be a little bit of a break in between the first game and the second and third game. So for those that may not be familiar with how the Dreamhack event works. So as you can see right there, Denali Esports, obviously. I like how Flensmeister using that Lion Esports Club mousepad still. So
yeah, why not?
Why not? Why not? Former Lions player, of course, left them, or was no longer a part of the team earlier on in the season, I believe it was.
Yeah, about 3-4 months ago now.
Yeah.
But of
Found
course,
a nice new home here.
there you go.
Esports.
First LAN event here with the Denial guys. You can see Moon Meander there in the background, as well as Keizu, and the infamous hair right there. And, you know, definitely these players are over there on the other side, encouraging one another, although Moon Meander appears to be getting distracted right now. He's like, there's shiny things on the other side, guys.
Gotta go
Let's
over
get
here.
on
See ya.
over there. But looks like maybe we'll be getting into this one here momentarily once again. As support, like you'd said, he had been having some issues right there, and I think he's going to be connected.
Well, he's
reconnected.
good. Yeah, I know it says slapped, I believe. It's actually, he went to use the restroom real quickly. In fact, I see him right now. Who I ride him. We're going to probably see him on the camera here.
Let's watch him.
Second. So let's watch.
Let's
watch
commentate the players.
Booyah!
Yeah, Zlap going to come in right there, pulling in the seat, Breaky.
Genius over here.
Headphones on, and he's looking good to go. Flensmeister checking it in. Yeah, why not? Do you not cast events in your daily life, Breaky?
Oh, I kind of do.
Sometimes I do,
yeah.
like every once in a while.
Every dinner. Just cast every dinner, you know.
Oh, the potatoes. Looking good.
Totally. All right, so hopefully we get the good to go here any second. I know they want to make sure that they're ready. Clearly going to be talking about making sure that they're on the same page here after coming back, but obviously Denali Esports is in a pretty good spot once again here in game number 2. 13,000 gold lead, 14,000 experience lead. Mickey
nice wave,
waving
Mickey.
at the camera. That's Mickey, by the way, in case you weren't aware. So
It's about damn time.
he's saying hello to his friends.
He's the one being carried by his team.
Yes, obviously. I saw that Reddit post. I get that reference. Ancient's being taken out right there. So here we are, resuming game number 2 now. 23 minutes in. Then actually, right as we come back, Slop's able to purchase that Shrunken Head. So he has the Portakey Shrunken Head. Playgoo can still stop it. The Plague Runner ultimate is the only way, but that's definitely one of those cases, though. Now that's an ultimate where it's like, do we really want to use it wasting stopping a Tempest ultimate? Or do we want to, and now granted it does bounce around, so it's still very useful in the end, but that is the only way to stop it, basically.
Especially with the level 1 ultimate. I mean, at this point in the game, it's
true.
not going to be a huge amount of damage, and interrupting a Tempest ultimate with 1 or even 2 players in there, it's definitely going to be pretty useful. So it's one of those things that somebody's going to have to evaluate over their Catlow main. In fact, playing the secondary support is going to have to evaluate, and he'll do that at record speed. He is a very speedy guy, as we've addressed a couple times here so far this weekend. Middle lane, though, Breaky. Sandrate's going hard, trying to run down Pestilence. Might get turned on here. Here they go.
But Drunken Master following it up. Look at Slither. Look at how quickly he's dropping.
Oh.
The unstoppable makes him unstoppable. He's just going balls to the wall. That's 2 kills right there. A double tap. Make it a freaking hat trick. Drunken Master is just way too powerful. It was the untouchable, by the way. It might as well be called unstoppable.
There you go.
With that ability at that rate. Holy crap. He really showed the power of Drunken Master right there. And then in the background, Pestilence thought it was fine just as he thought it was safe. All of a sudden, everyone else comes in, and they take him out. So, Drunken Master was the lead. Then there's the follow-up. and now 4 kills in a row.
Just when you thought it was safe, Breaky, the posse comes in. They clean it up. A 4-bomb here for Denial, and they're saying, all right, we had to take a pause. Might have lost a little bit of our momentum from that pause. We're going to go and gain it right back.
Yeah.
Not a problem whatsoever. So 24 minutes in, they have a massive resource lead. The momentum 100% in their favor. And for the guys in Shit Happens, they do not have much going for them. They've still got this Soul Stealer. He's farming pretty well. Kurt Svensson, once again, on Soul Stealer, is farming 450 gold per minute. He's always finding his farm. But what else do they have for him? I mean, you got Imba Pingu sitting on 200 gold per minute with an Energizer, and he's maybe getting close to a push stick. But Pestilence not going to be anywhere close to his portal key, or excuse me, his Shrunken Head to accompany the portal key. And meanwhile, on the other side, you got multiple Shrunken Heads. You got a Geometer's Bane here finished up on Flensmeister. And of course, Scout going to be about to finish up his own Shrunken Head here very soon. So Denial definitely looking good in their item progressions.
Yeah, it's obviously a lot better than Shit Happens. Outside of Soul Stealer, it is obviously a very, very difficult spot to be in. 15 more 100 gold saved up on the Soul Stealer, speaking of him. So he has the portal key, the no stone, the steam boots. You figure, though, damage is going to be the name of the game from here on out. I mean, I guess he could even go for something like a Shrunken Head here now, but that's just getting to the point where you're just not going to be putting out enough damage on this Hellborn side. I mean, they do have a decent follow-up with the Pestilence. Plague, if that bounces around correctly, could be decent. And then Slither on top of that with his dot damage, but it's, I don't know. I still think you need to go for that damage. What did he go for? He got the Firebrand, yeah. So that's definitely along the lines. That's what I was thinking about here for Kurt Svensson. So he gets the Firebrand, and he's going to try to work off of that. They're all grouping up at the bottom lane. And as you see that, Denial eSports is also nearby. Scouts going in. Samurai Thief's going to be looking to port it in. Here we go. Samurai Thief does put it in the side. Energy field in the background. Engineer is dropping quickly. Poison Burst goes off. And Scout's going to be jumping. Look at Drunken Master. Once again, the Untouchable activated. He's jumping in. And Pestilence will fall. When it's all said and done, that jab is limited. Catches the last 3. Drunken Master to follow. Plague Runner goes down. Down goes Soul Stealer. Down goes Slither, a genocide for Denial. GG, well played. Denial eSports are your 4th and final team. Moving on to the semifinals, they're going to be taking on Too Much Sugar in that first match tomorrow, Beef.
Yeah, it's going to be a really impressive match right there, but they looked quite stunning right here, Breaky. Definitely not going up against one of the top 5 teams that we really ranked coming into this one, but Shit Happens had shown that they certainly had what it takes to take a map, maybe even take this series. Denial took this match very seriously, did not pull out any of the stops, and right here, I mean, they just made sure to put on a show, send a message to TMSR.
Yeah.
I know Moon is watching, Kazu's watching, and they're letting them know right here, right now, you got a match on your hands tomorrow morning.
Yeah, you know, it's actually saying something at the end there. I believe that was Tankafed, Proboska, I think it was, when it shake his hand, and Tankafed's like, no, we're going to be enemies now. We're facing you next, so maybe there wasn't anything there, but hey, I'm a caster. I want to help hype it up even more. There's drama! Shots fired! Hashtag shots fired, everyone! So Denial eSports versus Too Much Sugar. That's obviously going to be a fun kickoff semifinal match tomorrow. That will be a best of 3. And then again, following that, of course, Lion Esports Club versus Stay Green. So Beef, 2 days are now officially in the book here for Dreamhack Winter 2013. We started with, 8 teams technically. We had the BYLC teams that eventually joined again, making it up to 10. Now we're back down to 4. And then tomorrow, there will be a 1. There will be a Dreamhack Winter champion. And that all starts at, like I said, at 4 a.m. Eastern. Wake up early, Americans. You got a great matchup on your hands. 10 a.m. Central European time, of course. Cannot wait for that. What a ride it's been, though, Beef, these 2 days.
It absolutely has been, Breaky. We've had upsets. We've had contestants coming in from the BYOC making a run at it. We've had teams eliminated early. We've had TMSR making it in. Now we got Stay Green Lions for you tomorrow. But like you said, Denial TMSR kicks it all off.
Yeah.
I am excited here for day 3, Dreamhack Winter, Breaky. And I mean, what a way to end it up tonight. Denial definitely looking strong. We'll see if they can carry that momentum into tomorrow.
Yeah, it's always a lot of casting. It's always a lot of coverage at this event. I know you guys appreciate it, though. We got so many good matches that we've had throughout these first couple of days, but there's nothing like knowing that the 3rd day is just around the corner now.
Absolutely.
The final day, again, just nonstop beautiful Heroes of Newerth going to be coming at us. And I'm sure that's going to show tomorrow. This already has been a great event. And as we expect, the very tough challenges, any team has good chances. And we've kind of seen that throughout these first couple of 2 days. So Yes, I know people have their favorites here in the semifinals and whatnot, I'm sure. But I could see any 4 of those teams, honestly, taking the title when it's all said and done. I mean, it's going to be a hell of a Final Four here at Dreamhack Winter 2013. But Beef, I believe we definitely should look to get an interview first off. So we're not going to be wrapping up officially just yet. But let's go ahead and we're going to take a short break right here. But ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back. We're going to get things finished off with an interview, of course, from Denali eSports, get their take on what they thought about that match, and then we'll be finishing up for the day. So stay tuned. Interview coming up next.